Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now that the Battlefield 6 open beta has come to a close, kind of wanted to go over a few things, give my impressions and kind of my overall thoughts on the game and see how well it did compared to the other Battlefields. If you guys are new around here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and let's get to it. So first I want to go over the controls. Play it on PC, so I use mouse and keyboard. There's a lot of key binds I did have to change to make it more comfortable for me, but that was just more of a personal preference. But overall, it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Felt really tight. Really good controls. Not really much to say about that. I'm curious though if there was any lag on console. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to play on console. Like I said, I did play it on the Steam version. And next I want to go over the visuals. So the character models were pretty cool. Pretty basic, to be honest. Very military, very basic colors of grays and black. I noticed too, a lot of the characters' faces were covered either by a mask or a helmet of some kind, or sunglasses. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I mean, maybe they just didn't want to give too much identity to the characters just so you guys can feel more of a team than individual. So I kind of get that. The weapon models look pretty cool. They're very distinct from each other, except for the AK, which I thought I seen like 3 different versions of that gun in the game. Other than that, yeah, very distinct from each other. The map vibe and textures were pretty cool. The colors they used were interesting. Every map had a different vibe for sure. Some used more tans and sands, where others were more dark and gritty, kind of like a stormy kind of vibe going on, which is pretty cool. I don't remember the names of the maps, but I do know feeling of each map, where some were really tight, close, and some were more open. Pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty fun overall. Again, I think they only allowed 3 maps during this beta, so we'll have to wait for the full release to see what all the maps are, but overall pretty good. The destruction did seem a little more scripted than I thought. I was hoping that I could take down all kinds of buildings anytime, but it seemed that only certain parts of buildings were able to be blown up, or I guess destructed. So not every building can come down, which I guess makes sense, because otherwise you'll have the whole map just flat ground from all the buildings that came down, which I know they pushed a lot in the trailers that they announced and showed, but I really feel that it should have been a little bit more destruction, especially with a lot of people going on rooftops, which you weren't able to bring down the roof or the buildings, which was kind of disappointing. But we'll see. Maybe it's an older build. Maybe they'll update it in the full release version. Okay, so I wanted to go over the overall performance, hardware wise. Like playing the Steam version, so I was using my personal setup, which is a 2080 Super, which was okay. I was able to hit 60 frames no problem at 1440p. I did have to do a little bit of tinkering here and there. Didn't really get too much frame drops, or I didn't get any stuttering or anything like that. Pretty good overall. I do have an 8-core processor. I'm not too sure which one I have off mine. I think it's a 9700K, which is an 8-core, so not too bad, pretty good. There were a few texture pop-ins, but that's to be expected, especially with the bigger maps. There were minor glitches in this game, particularly that you guys are watching me play. As you could see, the counter didn't go down, or when I went to go capture a flag, there was no prompt that popped up. But like, again, I think that's just possibly an earlier build of the game that this is, because usually betas, all they want to do is just the stress test for the servers. So this build we're playing could be a bit older than the one that they're actually working on now. And the sound, music was great. Battlefield music always hits. It's really cool, especially the theme. The weapons definitely pack a punch when you shoot, especially when you're playing with your headphones. Shout outs and commands that the characters give to each other when you guys are around, when one of you goes down, and give the call out to be revived when someone needs ammo. All that cool stuff really captured the atmosphere, which in my opinion, sound is a really big part of that. And I think they nailed it really well, and I'm pretty excited to see what they change or what they add full release, especially with more vehicles and more maps and all that cool stuff. So definitely looking forward to that. Next is maps. I think I got 3 or 4 maps that we were able to play across a few different game modes. The maps we played were a bit medium, and then of course the smaller ones for TDM and all that cool stuff. But the medium maps I felt have way too many hallways or pathways to go to, so I felt like I died a lot from different angles and different positions, just because of the many openings that they had. So hopefully the bigger maps don't have that, more have like the older maps are, like in Battlefield 3 or 4. So I'm hoping for that. So we'll see on release date. But what we played so far, pretty cool. Do need a little bit more work. The smaller maps did work pretty well, I felt. Not really much of a TDM player, but what I did play, I had a lot of fun, especially when I was playing with my friends. The maps felt more built for that, which I thought was a little odd. But then again, the guy who's heading up the whole Battlefield 6 project is a Call of Duty veteran, so I guess that does make sense. All right, next we're talking about the classes. So there was 4 main classes. You got Assault, Engineer, Support, and Recon. Each class plays a special role in each match, for sure. Guns are not locked to each class, which I thought was kind of surprising, and every player was also able to play the same role. So me personally, I leaned a little bit more towards engineer for a while, trying to take out vehicles, because that always seemed to be the main obstacle when playing the matches, especially conquest. And also subs. I'm a huge fan of submachine guns. They're fast paced, they're high fire rate, really big fan of. But after I did get what I wanted to get, which I think I unlocked looked like an MP7, I forgot what name they called it in this game, I swapped over to support, where I started reviving, throwing down ammo, which you can also give health to, which I thought was awesome. So not only do you give ammo and health and revives, it's like really good. Recon I played a little bit of, not too much a big fan of Recon, at least right now. So it's a little slow paced, having to stay in one position. You can't really push too hard with Recon. Really isn't too much my style. I don't like to stay still. I like to capture objectives and win the games. So we'll see, maybe I can kind of develop a better sense of Recon and maybe push it a little bit more aggressively when the full game comes out, but we'll have to wait and see. Other than that though, they were really balanced out. I think they got a buff if you used your gun for your class. I'm not too sure though, because it did say what they specialize in, so maybe that was something. I didn't really notice too big of a difference. All right, next is weapons. So some were better than others, obviously. Shotguns definitely dominated the close quarter. LMG had very little damage but really good accuracy, I noticed, so you have to definitely go with headshots for those, which I guess makes sense. That's usually what trade-off is on guns like that, where they'll have very little damage but they're laser beams, so always go for headshots. That's always like the #1 thing. The gun that I actually had a lot of fun with was the M4A1 carbine. Very versatile. You can use it for any class. It's a bit closer to mid-range. I did find myself winning a lot of battles up close, so that was pretty cool. I was able to clear certain buildings out pretty easily. Overall, that was my favorite gun. Hopefully there will be a gun balance at launch. I know they did acknowledge that the shotgun was really overpowered in one of their tweets, so hopefully when the game comes out, they will actually have that balanced and everyone won't just be one-shotted by shotguns. So the player base. So this was a very interesting topic. It was all-time high player count on Steam, which over 500,000, which beat Call of Duty Black Ops 6 overall on Steam, which was pretty nuts. That's pretty good. But then there's a lot of casual players playing that, and you kind of can see it in the game. Not many players were focused on the objective. More were going for kills. Medics were not reviving, running past their down teammate. No one throwing ammo, and vehicles were just destroying everybody because no one was using rocket launchers. Everyone was sniping or using the assault class, and it kind of took away a little bit from the game, at least some matches that I played in. There were some though that people played it perfectly. You can definitely tell that they're very familiar with Battlefield. When they would post up, hold down a spot, they'd throw down their ammo pack. Anyone that was around them would also be able to resupply, so that was pretty cool. Me personally, I think I'm gonna wait for the hype to die down once this game does release, and hopefully some of those casual players may drop out and go back to Call of Duty once it comes out too, which I believe is like a month after Battlefield comes out, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I enjoy winning these games. I really don't care if you have 100 kills, 0 deaths. It means nothing to me. I think it means nothing to a lot of Battlefield players. The objective is always the way to go and to play a role. So that's a big thing that always something I focus on when playing Battlefield. Okay, so next there's something I want to talk about that we didn't get a chance to play, but they hinted at the overall reveal, which is going to be the Battle Royale. So if they do decide to do a Battle Royale for Battlefield 6, I really hope that it won't take away from the main game. The whole idea of Battlefield won't revolve around their Battle Royale, kind of like what Call of Duty does with Warzone. If it's stuck behind a full price purchase, I don't know if it'll survive as much. If it does decide to go free to play, that's cool. I hope they keep it separate from the main game and try not to tailor too much to content creators. I know there's a lot of people out there that only play games because of the people they watch, and I understand it looks like a lot of fun. Maybe you'll jump into a match with them, but I feel that they aren't, I don't know how to say this, they're more of the what's hot right now kind of thing. They'll jump to it, jump to this. Anywho, me personally, I don't believe Battlefield needs a Battle Royale. I would really wish they just focused on the main game, create content for it continuously throughout the years. Maybe this Battlefield will last another 3-4 years, which would be awesome. Add more guns, more maps, all that cool stuff. Bring back a few favorites, which would be awesome, but we'll see. I mean, release date is 2 months away, so we still got a bit of ways to see, and hopefully everything comes out good. My overall impressions of the game: the controls feel great, has great potential. First current gen only Battlefield, which I am really excited about, because that means they're going to be pushing the game fidelity more, since they're not there's no PS4 or Xbox One holding it back. So us PC players and next gen players definitely going to benefit from that. I feel so. I'm super excited about that. I understand this is a beta. A lot of criticism I give it. Again, it could be an older build. Doesn't mean it's going to be the final product. A lot can change or nothing can change. We honestly don't know until we see in release, which I'm pretty excited about. We're only testing out the servers. So overall though, I didn't see too many things wrong with it. I did get kicked a few times from the game, or it crashed. I'm not really too sure what happened there, but that wasn't too bad. I was able to get in no problem. A lot of fun playing with my friends. Once we got in a party of 4, we played our matches. It was a lot of fun joking around. Do those bodies be flying around everywhere? It's ridiculous ragdoll physics, but yeah, pretty cool. Overall, I had a lot of fun. Looking forward to the release. Like I said, I might wait a little bit just so the hype will die down, and then I can jump in and enjoy some good old Battlefield goodness. So if you made it to this far in the video, I greatly appreciate it. Feel free to hit that like button if you did enjoy the video, and subscribe for more content. My name is Circlepunk, and I will catch you guys later.